As we learn that a male presenter has been suspended by the BBC, we also hear from yet again, Priti Patel. I think this is the third time in 24 hours she's gone on mainstream media saying that she's called for a full and transparent investigation about the BBC crisis, and that the BBC is a faceless and unaccountable organisation. She may be right, but you get the impression that she has a different agenda. Her purpose now is to be seen and to make her presence felt, I think, with the intention that Rishi Sunak might bump her up into a decent job in his coming cabinet reshuffle. God, if she ended up culture secretary, that would be the final nail in the coffin of the arts in this country. Culture Secretary Lucy Fraser has now spoken to the BBC's Director General, and she says, I've spoken to the BBC Director General Tim Davie about the deeply concerning allegations involving one of its presenters. He has assured me the BBC are investigating swiftly and sensitively. Well, not very swiftly if they were told on May the 19th. She added, given the nature of the allegations, it's important that the BBC is now given the space to conduct its investigation, establish the facts and take appropriate action. I will be kept updated as if we care what happens to Lucy Fraser. Normally she keeps quiet. And politicians on Laura Newsberg's show have all had things to say. Shadow Chancellor Rachel Reeves said the BBC should get its house in order. And Victoria Atkins said that it should do something quickly. The BBC need to speed up their processes and to give greater clarity now to what on earth has gone on in this case and what they're doing to try and put it right. Very, very serious. It has to have proper procedures in place to deal with this. She also said that this matter is about a young person who will be feeling all sorts of emotions. Well, there are parallels here between this story and the story of the young person caught in the middle of the Philip Schofield scandal. And I trust proper care is being given to both of these young people. But that's certainly not the priority which is coming across from the media and from government sources. This stuff is not looking good. The BBC have issued a statement. It says, the BBC takes any allegations seriously. We've robust internal processes in place to proactively deal with such allegations. Of course, they weren't doing anything until the Sun blasted it across their newspaper. This is a complex and fast-moving set of circumstances, and the BBC is working as quickly as possible to establish the facts in order to properly inform appropriate next steps. It's important that these matters are handled fairly and with care. We have been clear that if, at any point, new information comes to light or is provided to us, this will be acted upon appropriately and actively followed up. The BBC first became aware of a complaint in May. New allegations were put to us on Thursday of a different nature, and in addition to our own inquiries, we have also been in touch with external authorities in line with our protocols. We can confirm a male member of staff has been suspended. We expect to be in a position to provide a further update in the coming days as the process continues. The BBC board will continue to be kept up to date. And Davie has said that by law, individuals are entitled to a reasonable expectation of privacy, which is making the situation more complex. I also want to be very clear that I am wholly condemning the unsubstantiated rumours being made on the internet about some of our presenting talent. We are in contact with the family referenced in the media reports. I want to assure you that we are working rapidly to establish the facts and to ensure that these matters are handled fairly and with care, including by external authorities where appropriate. And we have learnt now that the BBC has sent the matter to the police because, if photographs of an underage individual are involved, then that would constitute a crime. But simply to assume that the mother's statement should be taken as a statement of fact rather than a statement of allegation. So we can't necessarily say that crime has been committed. All we can say is that behaviour has gone on which needs to be examined. And the BBC have been very slow to do that examination if they were told about this in May.